Today, I'll be chatting with David East, who's a DevRel engineer at Google Labs. David worked on Firebase Studio and drove agentic coding experiences before moving to Google Labs. He's also the creator of the Bad at CSS podcast, which, spoiler alert, tells you everything you need to know about this episode. We're diving into Stitch, Google's AI-powered UI generation tool that can create beautiful interfaces on demand. And by the end of this episode, you'll know exactly how to plug it into your own AI agents so they could generate stunning UIs on the fly. No design skills needed. If you've ever shipped something that worked perfectly but looked like it was built in 2003, this one's for you. I'll be honest, David has always been my go-to for design advice, but lately I've been going straight to Stitch instead. David, have you noticed I've been reaching out to you a little bit less frequently these days?
I have, and I don't know. I guess that's good, if you're getting good results with Stitch, instead of asking me. I think that a lot of people would think that your intro is performative, like, oh, I'm reaching out to him last, or I went from it. Like, this is legitimately true. Like, Noe and I worked on Firebase together. I used to run the Firebase blog. I got to help build that from scratch, pre AI. So I was all hand coded and got to help design that. And yeah, Noe would always send up a PR and he'd be like, it doesn't look good. Can you make it look good? And so this is true. Like, none of this is like, that makes a good intro. No, he legitimately would do that all the time.
So why don't you tell us more about Stitch? Like for somebody that's never seen it before or heard of it, what is it? How do I use it? And what's the intro guide to Stitch?
So with Stitch, what I like to tell people is you often, like, if you're using an AI coding agent, you take your pick of whatever one. You are sending it prompts and reviewing what it says back, and then it's writing files, executing code, doing all these things, and you are orchestrating this agent. You are acting like the tech lead and pointing it towards getting like better results. With Stitch, it's very similar, except you're doing that instead of being a tech lead, you're doing that as a creative director. You're letting Stitch be the design agent, doing all of the design work, but you are still directing the creative process. And so when you go in with that hat on and saying, like, I'm going to be the creative director today, and it's my job to establish some, like, some aesthetic, some exploration, something like that. You have some objective that you're doing, and you're just sending that off to the designer, which will be Stitch, and reviewing and refining. That tends to set you up with better results. And sometimes that can be kind of daunting because you'll get back a result and you can look at it and be like, I don't like that, or there's something about that I want to change, but I don't know what. And that's takes a lot of like design vocabulary and design eye. The good news is like once you start seeing it, it can be quickly learned. Uh, that used to be the old debate: can design be learned? Can it be taught? Like, yeah, yes, it can. Anything can be taught. So yeah.
So it's kind of like when I would reach out to you and I'd say, "Hey, like I have this design. I don't know what I don't like about it. Can you tell me
Yeah.
what you don't like about it?" And you would say, "Oh, everything, right?" But there's there's some like specific language that you could give it to say, "Oh, like this needs to
Yeah.
be okay."
Very, very early on in my career, actually, it was like right after I joined Firebase when it was a little startup. We had this the VP of UX at the time, this guy Alex Wolf. Shout out Alex Wolf. I sent him this design that someone had sent me, and because someone had asked me to evaluate this design and tell me what they thought, and I actually didn't have the words for it at all, but I did not like it. And I didn't want to respond back to them like I don't like it and then be very vague because that just sounds insulting. So I went to Alex and I was like, I don't like this. Can you please tell me why I don't like this? Because he was very good. And then he just was like, yeah. He's like, it's very structurally sound. He's like, so you're not having any immediate rejections of the way it was laid out because it's very good. He's like, but he's like, what you have problems with is that he's like, these lines right here, they indicate motion, and it's upsetting to your eyes because this is supposed to be more of a calming aesthetic, but these lines conflict with that. So it's creating like, excitement, motion, action. And he's like, so you don't like that. And he was like, and then also the way that they're doing the tonal layering of the colors clashes also with the like with this calming aesthetic approach. He's like, it's getting more colorful and like and darker as you go down, instead of it actually getting lighter and becoming more of a like calming looking experience. He's like, so the brand is betraying its own aesthetic. And I was like, can you say that one more time? I wasn't taking notes. But it was stuff like that where I was like, you start to see the matrix, so to speak, and every time you get one of those little bits of an understanding, it helps you look at things differently. And it's like you get one and then you'll see 100 more just from that one. So like that's my experience, and I think that holds really. And so yeah, happy to look into stuff like that today, or but yeah, that's my theory of how to improve with design.
So maybe you could take us through a quick demo of how to like just get started with Stitch in the UI, right through the Stitch with Google website. And I
Yeah.
actually have the website up. If you just want to tell me, and I could drive it.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. If you're going to design something, that sentence needs to be followed. You have to design something. So, what are you going to design? You're going to design a site. Well, a site has content. If you just start without any idea of what the content is, you are in a state of exploration. And that's fine, but just understand that you are in a state of exploration. So, when you see AI generated content and stuff like that, it is not going to fully reflect what you're trying to do. But if you can start with some design, some content in there, even if it's just this is what the heading should be, this is what the name of this is, all that type of stuff, it's not only makes things more real, but it also gives Stitch some creative liberty to work with the actual content. Because what we forget about if we're not designing with the content is that the actual content of the actual character of the content can drive the design. Is because if you're writing a newspaper article about some new, I don't know, like if it's a local newspaper and you're trying to show the impact of this new like development in town, there's actual going to be space for design for visualizations of this, or the way this should be laid out, and all that type of stuff. So the content itself will dictate the design, or the way that it, like, whether if it's form, whether it's the aesthetic. So if you can start with real content, even just a little bit, it's important. So okay, this is good. So actually, if you want to do this, go type that, copy that, and go
Okay.
into Gemini. All right, so
Tell
paste that
me.
in. Tell me, or just like, yeah, the best places for crabbing in the Chesapeake Bay. Which, by the way, you should know this. I am.
I should. It's been a while since I've gotten on the bay.
You can take, uh, yeah, take the. Let's do Maryland, if because I know that's what you're really looking for. You're not looking for
Yeah.
the crabbing in Virginia. So we will. So copy that in. Let's go back to Stitch, and then like a site for the best places of crabbing, Chesapeake Bay for Maryland. Or and then let's see. So in between that, let's write a prompt that's like, who's this site for? Is it for Marylanders? Is it for people visiting
Just
Maryland?
anybody that likes crabs.
Yeah, but like,
Uh,
why would I go to this site?
oh
This
yeah,
is
I
important.
guess getting
Are you?
started with crabbing. So like new crabbers.
But are you taking me on tours? Or like, am I going to go to the
Ooh.
site, or is it this is just like a guidebook?
Let's have it be a tour, like a tour company.
Okay, so all right, see, this is two totally different lenses. So now instead of saying a site, you're going to say a site for a touring the best places. Provides tours of the best places to go crabbing. So now we're starting to ground it in something real. And there's further ways we could like go into this for like call to action and all that type of
Mhm.
stuff. But right now we're trying to make this more real. So what is easier to do is to actually say what you don't want. And because now we can
Oh.
start eliminating parts. So like, here's a good example. Do you want it to be stereotypical Maryland colors? Are we going to get lots of red and black and yellow, or do we?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Oh
so
my
we want to go
gosh. Yeah.
all out. So we want this to
Yeah.
like we want to drench this in Maryland.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, the Maryland flag I think has a lot of really good colors to bring out in this, but we want to make sure that it doesn't take it the wrong way or get too busy with it.
Mm,
Um,
okay.
because this is a tour site, I would say that it needs to be a light theme because you want to give the the feeling of like out in the open and air. And this was like night tours of crabbing,
Mhm.
which I do not recommend. Then that makes sense to have it like if this was like stargazing or something like that out in like Moab or whatever. Then I think night theme works really well for that. So it needs to be light, and that goes counter to Maryland's colors because now we have a lot of clashing of against white. See, these are the things to think about before you
Oh,
you do
okay.
this, because now we have accessibility contrast to consider. But that doesn't mean we're, like we don't have options. It just means we need to consider this. Uh, and I'm sorry for everyone who's like, when are you going to press the button? When am I going to see the pixels? But this is design. Or if you're like, hey, Stitch should do this for me, Stitch will do a whole lot for you. But if you can think about what you don't want and what you do want up ahead of time, we can actually focus on the real, more creative details where you get more gas out of it rather than trying to eliminate some, like right now I'm thinking through these color combinations or things to avoid. If I can get those out of the way up front, those are table stakes. So what we should do right here is we want to think about one tertiary color, and tertiary being like the accent, but we'll get into
Probably
more.
red, right?
That's what I'm thinking, but you have a white. So we need so red and white, not super great unless you kind of turn down the saturation, or sorry, turn up the saturation and then down the brightness, and then you get more of a dull red. But
Mhm.
there is a lot of good ones out there. We just want to make sure it feels Marylandy. So that will be, let's just go with that and we will figure it out. So what we'll do is we'll say like a tertiary color should be a red that uh contrasts well with a cream white background, and say warm cream. And cream is with an A. Yeah, come on, man. We don't be fancy. And you don't need the E at the end.
It's
So and so
the royal spelling, I think.
all right, so this right here, or it's the crispy spelling. Say should be a Maryland red.
Okay.
And so those things, I was going to give you another instruction, but okay, all right, it's fine. So those are kind of all right. Let's see what it does here. This is an interesting palette.
There's
Because I don't.
a brand that is very similar to these colors
The
that is often
red's going to need
associated with
adjusting.
crabs.
The red.
Okay.
Well, I can't tell if it's from the screen share or not. I'm gonna have to like load that up on mine, or I'll get you to share it with me. Looks like it needs a little bit more dullness, but okay,
Is
we'll
there a
we'll fix
sharing
that.
option in Stitch if I wanted to share this with an
Yeah, you see
assignment?
that? We see where it says share.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but once you do, you make it public, which is fine, but it's read only. And so you copy this link, you send it to me, and I can pull it up on mine. And here, go over to that little swatch to the left. We'll get to that. So this right here is a design
Okay.
system, and a design system in Stitch is sort of the thing that roots all your designs in together. And so if you click on that
Mhm.
and then hit E.
E.
Yeah, there we
Oh,
go.
look at
So
that.
this pulls up. So this is called Chesapeake Heritage is the name of the design system, and that it has these token representations right here, where we can see the seed color, which is stuff gets mixed off of. We'll probably end up changing that, and then we have the color palette, which has primary, secondary, tertiary, and neutral. Now these are aspects of a color hierarchy or a color system, and there are different ways you can assign importance or roles to each color. And so now if you go to the top though, this is real important. You see where it says Design.md?
Yep.
Yeah, so this right here is an artifact that Stitch creates. It's very similar to agents.md, but instead of it being instruction for coding agents, it's instruction about the design. Now, this, what you're scrolling through right now, are token values. And this is very similar if you've used like design tokens spec, DTCG that is, or if you use Tailwind configs and stuff like that. But what's important to understand here is that this is a markdown file that
Mhm.
interleaves or associates the token values with the design intent. And this is critically important that we have the token values mixed with prose. And the prose is the intent, it's the reason, it is the invisible descriptions of why things are the way they are. So when I was saying to you about like, oh, we want it to feel light, so it feels like a so it feels like the outside, so it's like daytime. That
Yeah.
is something you could express in Design.md, but that's not
Oh.
something you could infer from just a hex value of a background color. Have a conversation with a designer of a site, and you got all these reasons to why they are the way they are as they like annotated through the code. That is what Design.md is for. And it can be ported, it can be used in Stitch, it can be used in all other sorts of coding agents. And it's just sort of a document of truth between the values you want to use and the intent behind them. So this is the Chesapeake Crabbing Co., which is, pretty good name. All right, so went with a hero image, which is, you know, whatever. I'm not a big fan, but it's okay. I got ways to fix that. It's a good start. That's another thing too. Is a lot of times you get designs and they're like, okay, there's something to work with here, but we can improve.
Mhm.
So let's scroll down. The heart of blue crab culture. Okay, well, that's a good crabbing thing. Top crabbing spots. Okay, this is cool. Um, I kind of like this little bento masonry grid thing. That actually is kind of nice. Ready to cast your line. Oh, okay, so that's the red in action. What do you think about the red, Noe? Like you're the Marylander.
I feel like there's not enough red on the page, but that might just be me.
But the problem is, and I can tell you what the problem is here. So let's scroll out. And actually,
Okay.
one of the things you might want to do is click on any one of these. It doesn't matter which one, really. And
Yep.
then now hit Shift P.
Shift P.
Boom, and now it goes into a preview. And this is like a one where you can do
Ooh.
responsiveness. But my favorite is that if you go to the top little toolbar for the Stitch, there's the one that like links out.
Oh, links out. Okay, I see that.
Yeah, this takes it into full screen. Yeah, so this is what I like
Oh,
to do. I like to get a good, nice full screen as I,
I like this a
because
lot.
because this is all just HTML and CSS or Tailwind CSS. There's a Tailwind config with it. We have to start thinking about what do we want the user to think about the site when they appear on it. So Noe, what would you want the user? You're the Crab Co CEO. What do you want them to know about your site? They land on the site and they go, I think this company is this.
I think as a Chesapeake Crabbing Company, I want my customers to feel like they will have a unique experience on the water with us that day, and just being able to see a side of Maryland that nobody's ever seen before.
All right, I loved that. That was really good. That was a very good response. Um, and I wrote that down because those type of things should be captured. That can go in the overview of a design MD. And you said many things in there in that sentence that I think translates well to the design, and where to push it forward next. When
Okay.
experience on the water that day. So unique experience on the water that day. And then secondly, you said, and see a side of Maryland that they have never seen before. That right there, that's your hero. See a side of Maryland you've never seen before. There's probably like a more terse way of or concise way of saying that, like punchy, but it's okay. Like we'll get there. We're not designing and like nailing the slogan, but that feels like a way for you to communicate immediately in a very attention grabbing way. See a side of Maryland you've never seen before. That's a great first anchor for your
Mhm.
message. So
Pun
just
intended.
by saying just by saying that right now though, you've now gone from like, oof, what do I want to do with this design? How do I move it forward to like, oh, okay. But let's unpack that, let's unpack it. You said a unique experience on the water in sea side of Maryland I've never seen before. So what are the aspects of that? A unique experience is is that luxury? Is that earthy? Is that like what is the unique experience and what would you want them to feel? Is it like um are they getting picked up or they roll onto your boat and there's uh, a spread of food and drinks and it's a little like glamping on the water, you know what I mean? And it feels very like high experience, like hey, look at us, like we're out on the water and that guy's crabbing for us, but we at some point walk over there and hold a net and now I can tell everyone I crabbed. Or is it like a much more
I
uh,
think it's a,
you know
a much more real experience, right? Where you go
okay.
out in the boat and you throw the crab lines over, or not lines, but the cages over, and then you pull them back up onto the boat, right? Like that's the whole thing. You come out hours later to pull them back up after the crabs have swarmed the cages.
So
So
you
I
want
like
yeah.
an authentic experience.
So you want your users to know that they are gonna be having their hands on the nets, they're gonna be, they're gonna be sitting there out on the day, they're gonna be getting the crabs, like, they are a crabber, just like, like, as soon as you're on that boat, you're one of us.
Yep.
Then, yeah, that's very different, and those are, that's something to think about here. So this is authentic, but it's also immersive. Let me send you a prompt that I think will work really well. Okay, so this one, oh, so we're going to do this differently too. Uh, Click on that page and hit Shift V. Now take that
Oh,
prompt and paste it into the custom instructions. So
okay.
this is a variant. And before we do anything, I'll walk you through this. So you can
Mhm.
specify the number of like results that you want. So yeah, we can go to 5. Yeah, let's just do
Okay.
it. Let's just go to 5. And then we can specify the creative range. Now, I find that there's really only 2 that I use. I haven't found any prompts that quite work really well with Reimagine. Uh, as far as custom instructions go, like, I think you can go with Reimagine, but I have never found a way to really drive it because it goes out there. It goes
It
wild.
grabs everything.
And s Yeah, exactly. So I don't
Yeah.
know, like, I don't think it's hard to rein it in, because that's it's not what it's meant to do. It's not to be reined in.
So,
So
but if I'm
yeah,
not very good at prompting, right, and I
yeah.
can't iterate with Gemini, I might do Reimagine to just get a fresh palette of everything, right?
You can, but you may not like what you get back because, like,
Okay.
there's more variance there. So, like, you
Yeah.
can, like, so what I like to do though is to use Explore, when I'm
Okay.
in this phase. When you have something you like, refine becomes your best friend. But before you have something you like, you use Explore.
Okay.
It's like a very good sweet spot of finding new stuff, but not quite doing anything totally new. And so now we have aspects to vary. And so this instruction is like if we like the color scheme, then we'll
Mhm.
just click layout. And the whole images, text font, actually do layout and do text font because I don't love the font. We haven't even gotten into fonts yet. Um, so we'll do that. And then now just click generate uh, variations. And
Okay.
now we're going to do another one because we can do concurrent edits in Stitch. So this is the whole ideation process. Like I generate one and now it's going to here in just a second, it's going to like introduce 5 skeleton loaders and
Mhm.
we are going to just do another variant. And so we will have all these ones generating at once and we can just like find what works and then continue to ideate on the ones that work. And so it's basically like branching off ideas until you get somewhere. I try to like visually organize the branches in my Stitch projects. And if you ever see them, they just kind of like, they just keep drilling down, 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 down until I get to like something I like. So yeah, pull up one you like in a Shift P. We'll go to like a full page. Here, open it in full screen. Ooh, actually, there's a couple things I like about this. Okay, I like the typography on the split,
Mhm.
like navigating the tides of tradition. Um, this is good, and I like the symmetry. Works really well. Like you see how it has. Oh man, I'm gonna say something here. That's kind of wild. So scroll up just a little.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. No, scroll down again, just a little.
Oh,
There,
down.
scroll. Oh no, no, no. Yeah, I want you to scroll between. So scroll up tiny, scroll up tiny, scroll up tiny. Okay, stop. Look at the four grids, like the four squares,
Yeah.
and do you see how you have the white, and then you have the images, like creating the cross pattern?
Yeah.
When you go crabbing, and then you go eat the crabs, what do? You lay down a tablecloth on the
Newspaper.
table. Newspaper. You do use newspaper, but a lot of times you do lay down the tablecloth that has
The
this
checkers.
cross checkered padding, and so does
Oh,
the
okay.
flag itself. So this becomes a way to. This is where you start seeing that these are the little details where like opportunity lies. And so, like, the framework is down here. We haven't done much, but it already kind of creates that checkered pattern that gives us some latent association. It's a little big. So, you could start thinking about, like, what if I found ways to keep this mosaic? This see, that's another word right there. Is now we start looking into, we can look into mosaic patterns and stuff like that. Okay, so let's go back into Stitch. So this one, we're gonna say this one is uh, our current winner. So when I get a winner, what I like to do is I like to duplicate it. So like click on it and hit Command D.
Command D.
Yeah, and so now it's putting it over. So now like just drag it like below all of
Oh,
these.
okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so now, uh, like, uh, we want to work for this one. If we want to like further hone in on that, on like what we're trying to do, click on it and hit E.
E. Okay.
Yeah. So now it says navigating the tides of tradition. Let's
Mhm.
change that back to the thing that state that you said. See a side of Maryland. Like see the side of Maryland. See, this is too long. Explore the unseen side of Maryland
Okay.
out of the edit mode.
Yep.
And then, yeah, it's sometimes it takes a second to go back, but it's okay. We'll fix that. What we want to do next is we either want to I don't think like refining the design is fully the right idea until you
Mhm.
have some of the more of the pages laid out. So what we want to do now is let's go back to that initial prompt we had where we created we added those lists of the crabbing pages because it lost that. So to do that, actually,
It's
you can go, yeah, go to the very bottom. So that's the agent log, and that has
okay.
everything that's being done. So if you click on the very first one, see that there's a little copy button.
Yep.
You click on the little copy button. We're gonna have to
Copy.
delete some stuff, so don't do anything totally crazy yet. But what we're gonna do is click on the one we like down there,
Okay.
and then now we're gonna write this prompt. Say, this is a targeted edit. Create a list of crabbing spots page using the same layout and aesthetic of this catalog page. Use these crabbing spots below for content. Yeah, just fire it off. And so this is going to just do one, which is fine for now. I like to do this before I jump into a variant. Because I haven't established this page, and I could just send this off by itself, but I like to root it in a page I like. And so that's like an edit. It's like an edit, but it's not editing the same page. It's like a directed edit, or I call it like a targeted edit. So if you really like something and you want something somewhat consistent with it, this is a good way of grounding it in an existing context. This is just context engineering.
Okay. So in order to like create secondary pages or third pages, I just select the page that I like and I could just edit it right here or and say this is a
Exactly.
targeted edit, do this. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a spectrum of creative freedom. From there, this allows you to like share a lot of this like look how consistent that looks. That's like matches
That
that
looks
really
really
well
good.
to the point
Yeah.
with the point where like I'm actually kind of bored with that level of consistency. I'm like, oh, just added a top square. Uh, but you know what? That's not bad. Like if we had real imagery from like this real, crabbing co that we were doing,
Mhm.
we would be like in business because these images would sell much better this design than anything else we would do.
So let me ask you this. You mentioned being able to extract this to HTML. Does it already come
Yes.
out componentized?
Yeah,
Componentized?
actually, uh, click on that one.
More? Oh, click on this.
Yeah,
Got
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yep.
it is right there. Click more. I always forget which one it is because I do. I always right click, but yeah, click view code. Yeah, and it's Shift
Okay.
C. This is it. That's all it is. It's a full HTML document with a Tailwind config, and everything is linked out. Like, so you could literally copy this code and paste it
Mhm.
into a local environment. It would run, or you can use the MCP server that would get that. It would look at your you get the project ID, and then it would list the screens or get the specific screen from the project. And you could start integrating that directly into your code editor. And since it's just HTML, that if you're building with a React app or something like that, it's quite easy to start composing that into a React component.
Yeah, I've learned more about building, just designing a website sitting here with you in the last, 30 minutes than the 4+ hours of conversations we used to have over Firebase blog. So this is good. And you've given me a good guide on how to go and prompt the models about what specifically I'm looking for. Because I think a lot of people suffer with this idea that, oh, I just want a website that, sells candles, but they never get beyond selling candles. They never think about what kind of emotion they want to evoke or like what kind of feeling they want, right? Maybe a candle website should have a dark theme because they want to have candles off in the distance or something, right? And be in the light. So when it comes to doing designs, uh, I know that I also, and I've said this more than once. Just for image generation, I will have Gemini prompt or write the prompt to write the prompt for an image generation model. So I will go to Gemini and say, generate me a picture of crabs, right? And it might show Maryland blue crab, or it might show king crab, or it might show this other thing. But if I say, write an image generation prompt for crabs at the bottom of the Chesapeake Bay, it will get very specific about
Yes.
everything that it should be able to see in the bay.
Yeah. If
And it
it's like
might be like, and you can see like,
photorealistic, or it's like use this is from this kind of lens and this kind of thing. Yeah, exactly. The
yeah,
words that you would just not have. Yes.
right.
It's
Like
exactly that.
8K, Ultra HD, and like things that just escape my mind.
Yeah, and I
When,
think a lot of that it too is like how many of those words mattered in that, and how
Mhm.
much were just like performative or just like extra assurances. Uh, I've done that exercise before where I've gotten like a really verbose prompt about like a layout that I'd want, and then I kept making it more concise, more concise, more concise, and seeing like what gets lost. What what how lossy is it as it gets and then the term that I've come up with this, which is super, I love, is semantic compression. So, how much of the semantics of what you're trying to convey can be compressed into that sentence? It's the one I always do. But I remixed yours, and then I got this.
Mhm.
This is the ID. There's all these other different ways I could do this. Actually, this is exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to do it the other way. I built this. This is something I built. This little export MCP. And then if you
Oh,
need set up the MCP, you can do this too. It allows you to select, see like Gemini CLI, all these ones, and then it can give you the config for it. Sorry, it's copy prompt. Yeah, we can cut that out. So I click copy prompt. Yeah, actually, this works pretty well. I wrote this. And so I wrote the code that did this, the thing, and that's so I'm like showing off my own features, and so yes, I'm going to allow. So basically, I have the Stitch MCP server set up, and
Mhm.
I sent this prompt in, get the images and code for the following Stitch screens. Title, remix of the Chesapeake Bay. That's the name of the project. This is the project ID. These are the screens. So each screen has its own ID. And then it gives it a little extra advice for using curl-l. Sometimes it tries to use, it needs to follow through the screen, and sometimes it and then get the bytes from the screen. And so and sometimes they try to get agents try to get too fancy. So if you just give a little hint, they're like, hey, just use curl-l, and it's like, oh, okay. All right, so now it's calling get screen for these. Boom, and it found them.
Mhm.
And so we have a download URL. Yes, this is the image, and this is the HTML code. And
Okay.
so let's yep. Let's allow for this.
So,
Hold up. Yeah.
hold on.
I need to 1 second. You entertain the audience. I realized I knocked my charger out, and I got so many things plugged in. It's like draining power.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
But it's all good.
So
It's just right here.
So I guess the one question that I do have is if you, this is you fetching our existing designs and bringing them into a project. If you
Yeah.
wanted to create a third screen without going back to the Stitch UI, is that
Yeah.
possible with Gemini CLI?
Totally. I could say,
I was trying to look at the screens to see which ones we have already and which ones we're missing. So I know that we have like the tours, the bay, and then like the tours, maybe something about like recipes.
based on the screen two, uh, since screen two, uh, I'm gonna lead the agent here by telling it to use edit screens, because it might use generate screen from text. So I just like
Oh, okay.
I just like to do that. So using the new screen. But we need to say now, like what so you want to do us to be create a recipes screen of crab based meals. I don't know. This is not going to be the best
Chicken
design.
Chesapeake.
Chicken Chesapeake? Is this a thing?
Yeah, it is a thing. I'm gonna come over to your house one day. I'll make it for you.
Chicken, like this is a
I think
thing.
there's an E at the end of Chesapeake. Yeah,
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
Chesapeake.
sorry.
Yeah.
I got you on cream. You got me on Chesapeake, but that's typical Maryland. You're like, you spelling Chesapeake wrong. All right.
One thing that I noticed here is that you are using the existing Stitch project to
Yes,
design the next page. If I didn't have an existing Stitch project with this
you can create
MCP
one.
server,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. There's a
and
create project tool.
oh, built into the MCP server, and then it would load
Yep.
in my existing designs or look at my existing designs, and then maybe prompt the model to create a new screen that way. Is that
Yep.
the correct understanding? Okay.
I can't hit enter right now because it's being queued. Yeah, exactly. There's a whole set of
Okay.
tools. It looks like it did this. So I could go to the page and check it out, but I also could try to just serve it locally or something like that. Let me just go to the page to need to refresh to see the new one. If it did create it.
Oh, I see it right there.
Where is it?
Bottom right.
Oh yeah,
It's
you're
not
right.
the yeah, in the center. Yeah.
This is good. There's so many, from this page, this is like, I like a lot about this, and there's a lot of things I would want to change. Like seeing this in full now, I'd probably, like, I don't love that this is the headline, because what it does is it breaks this on the full, but that's okay. These are
Yeah.
things that we can work on. But I do like the way this is forming. This is a really nice lookbook. As I scroll, it's like look, and then it's a nice alternating geometry. This could get changed up a bit, but it is nice. I do like this idea. Like, this is something I didn't think about, and Stitch did, and this is something, as you provide your own content in, you get a lot of that.
Having that context. So your advice would be if you're starting out with a new app, get like maybe a brutalist design for an app where you just have the functionality there, and then come in with Stitch and like reimagine it. So
Yeah.
that way you know how to lay out the content and you say, oh yeah, I know like users are going to have this and things are going to have this layout. Okay, that makes a lot more sense
By the
to
way,
me
look,
than
This is
Oh, it
the
made it into
This is
yeah.
like not the greatest example because it's like fixing like a bug it had where it rendered the style thing wrong. But what's great about this is that you want to use it for more creative purposes. For like, look at the grid. What would it take to turn this into a 3 column grid? And
Mhm.
then it can provide very specific instruction for like getting those things laid out well that you may not have the words for. Because if you say like update the columns to 3 and the middle one should be like you're not your you need to have a lot of semantic meaning. Like you have to be a very good describer, which is mentally taxing. So if you can get AI to fill out a lot of these instructional bits for you, and if it can do that rooted in the code, you like look at the code as like a serialized form of what's going on, and then your Design.md is the intent behind that serialized instruction. And so you kind of marry those things together. Like I have this instructional based syntax, HTML, CSS, and I have a Design.md and my own intuition, my own language of what I want,
Yep.
of like what should happen and why. That starts driving that because you cannot just rely on CSS alone. Or any rendering for that matter, like Jetpack, Compose, Swift UI, whatever platforms we're talking about, because you need intent. Intent gives you that result.
Thank you. So having said all of that, we've seen Stitch with a deep drive, I should say, because you were telling me how to drive Stitch. Then we had the Gemini CLI driving Stitch to generate new images or new screens, I should say. And next, what I'd like to do is hot takes with David East. So I'm going to have a few questions for you. You answer agree, disagree, or it's complicated as quick as you can to just let me know what you're thinking.
Okay.
Sound good?
All right. I'm a little scared, but only a little. But and
Oh, okay.
I kind of like it.
I gotta try harder to
It's
make you a little
exciting.
bit more scared then. Yeah.
No. It's good. I'm like, I'm all right. All right. Let's go.
All right, ready? So
All right.
app development is gone. It's all agents now.
Ooh. Somewhere between it's complicated and disagree. Is that the one again?
I think
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Like, it is complicated because like agents are a new surface, and have a useful surface, but like at the same time, uh, we still have the other surfaces. Like, if you're pulling up certain apps, certain things might work really well through an agent surface. And if that's the best use case for them, that's great. That's a good it's a good scenario for that type of like app gone to agent. But that's not the case for a lot of things. And especially if you're making games and stuff like that, or especially if you're wanting more of an immersive experience. And the experience determines everything. And so I would say that, yeah, like a lot of things can be agents, but some things just can't be. Like, like we still read physical books because the experience is, for many, is great.
Yeah.
Um, Not me. I have to listen to everything because I don't have the, like I literally have to listen to everything. When I read, I'm literally thinking, want, I can't concentrate on reading this. But if I'm listening, I'm like completely captured. But yeah, so it's just this experience. So that's my thing.
That's fair. I still need a sense of style to have a great looking app.
No, that is totally disagree. Because style is one thing, but
Mhm.
empathy is what I say. And empathy is just like understanding what your user wants. And also, like, if you go out and look at like some of the most popular apps used in the world, they serve a utility. Not every single app looks amazing, and not everything. I think a lot of times we see the dribble shots of the world. And I keep, I feel like I'm being negative to dribble, but sure, those dribbles, they're amazing looking and they are aspirational, they're inspirational, but not everything needs to be like that. But I do think a lot of times when people come to design, that's what they think. They're like, well, I was on Dribble or I was on social media and I saw these amazing designs, and so I want my designs to be like that. But that's not always the case. Like, not every house is the most big designed architectural endeavor. Like there's a lot of times where you find the right thing and the right, like the right site hitting the right message for the right person. That's design. Design is literally you are designing some artifact, some object to fit its use case and to resonate with its users. You are architecting it, so you got to know what it's like to live in that building, and you can't let people. You can't be an architect who doesn't know what it's like to live in the building, because everyone's going to move in the building and hate it. And so you can't just design and walk away.
Okay. Yeah. The best way to interact with Stitch is through another agent.
Whew. I would say it's complicated because there's a lot of really good results you can get by doing that. But sometimes, as we saw earlier, it's really good to sit and think with it. And where I asked you, actually, what do you want your user to do? And if you're going with an agent's going to be eager and it's going to try to drive things. And if you
Mhm.
let it pull you along instead of you directing it, then it might get away from you a little bit. And an agent's just trying to be eager, just trying to be helpful. So you have to make it go slow or ground it really well in your goals. And you need to take pre-work to ground it in your goals, which just means you have to have them. And so it's complicated. I would say that agents really help you a ton, but there's no precursor. There's no agent for the pre-work. Um, you could have an agent help you design those things, but then now you're doing work before that one. So at some point you have to think. That is my point. You have to sit and think about your goals, what you're trying to create, what you want people to feel like, all that type of stuff. So it's complicated, but I think it's just more like what role fits what you're doing.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, that's fair. The next question. Hopefully, this does not leak how little I know about CSS, but CSS Grid is better than Flexbox.
Oh,
Is
that
that even a
is,
valid question?
I think it's complicated. No, I mean, they're just different, different use cases. Flexbox has a lot of really great properties to it for certain types of layouts, and Grid the same. I think Grid works really well when you look at it as a macro layout of a page. Like Grid tends to be very good for macro layouts, where you're saying like, I can lay out this whole page with a grid, and then inside these grid items, I can use flex boxes in many cases to lay out this component level. You can do the same with Flexbox, but Flexbox, the keyword is flex. Grid sounds rigid, which is not totally the case. You have fractional units in grid, and you have intrinsic sizing units or intrinsic sizing functions in grid, like min max. What I would say is a Flexbox has this aspect of growing and shrinking, and that's where if you can take advantage of grow and shrink, uh, then Flexbox is the right choice there. Whereas, like, is the content growing and shrinking within this one? Otherwise, when you look at a lot of the ways that Grid and Flexbox lay things out, outside of setting up the rows and tracks, that is, they're using the same axis-based orientations, where it's like it's like align items, justify content. They both use that. So that becomes a common denominator. So you have to look at it like, is it beneficial for me to have rows and columns defined? If it is, then Grid is very good for that, and macro page layouts tend to do that. With Flexbox, it tends to be like, well, how do I get this thing to grow and shrink based upon the sizing? Well, that's really tends to be really good for components. So yeah, there you go.
Perfect. Three more questions. Knowing CSS is no longer important.
Very not true. Strong disagree. It's super important, because it's more important than ever. Because that's what happens. That's the thing that gets rendered, like, and the more you know about that, the stronger you can be with it. Like like I said, I have this whole, Dion Almera and I have a whole talk at Google I/O on a video session that's all about this. Having CSS, even just vocabulary and conceptual understanding, will drive you so much further, because it'll give you concepts to use in your prompt to understand like, oh, this is possible with CSS alone. Otherwise, like I was talking about scroll driven animations, that used to be a JavaScript listener on the page and not super great for performance. And now it's all driven through a compositor. So like it's just super fast. You know what those things mean. You do. You know that. So you're like, I don't know anything about CSS, but you know everything what I mean when I'm talking about the compositor. That's I know you know that. And so yeah, like knowing those things is important. I don't think you need to know every single keystroke and every like it's a different art form now. But knowing a lot about CSS is still very important. CSS and design have always had massive overlaps over each other.
Gotcha. So this leads into the next question. Stitch replaces the need for front end engineers.
No, very much not the case. As you saw, like there's so much of the mix and match of components, how that ends up happening, and like what does front end mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think that a lot of times people are like, front end means that I'm building React. Well, what about like Jetpack Compose? What about Swift? Like, what if I have one app across 3 different platforms? What if I'm building with Flutter? Like all these different types of things. That becomes an engineering effort because that's complicated to get one design working across 3 different ones. And a lot of times too, the design language from one platform to the other is going to shift, like intentionally. So the navigation will shift from one to the other. Also, like, would be really cool if, like, or, you know, my customer base really, they all really have foldables because it's a map app or a video app and something. And so they want a really good foldable experience. Like, that's going to change stuff. And that's, now we're talking about a lot of if statements here. Actually, I hope it's better than if statement, but like, you know, like there's a lot of different stuff to think about. It's an engineering problem. So front end engineering it still very much needs to be engineered. This is just a really good way of sourcing of that and generating and iterating to these points.
Perfect. And then the final question, Noe is my favorite colleague.
Noe is my favorite colleague. Let me see here. I'm just quickly doing the power rankings. Well, you know, like we don't technically work in the same org together anymore.
Anymore.
But I guess we're in the same company, so I guess that makes you my colleague. So it's just okay. Sorry, it's just modus ponens at P and Q, and Q. Yeah, yes, yeah. Okay,
Oh, perfect.
the
Yeah,
discrete
yeah.
logic on it. It works out. Yes, no, he is
Oh,
my favorite.
lovely.
Okay, yeah, you got
Yeah.
it. You did it, and I
You
a
heard
whole
it here
logic trail.
first.
I just wanted to make sure it was true, you know. So I had to read through. I couldn't just say yes, then you wouldn't believe it was genuine.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, yeah. Perfect. Thanks for those answers. And then oh, I'm actually sorry. There is one final question. What is the
Oh,
one AI tool that has made your day-to-day job easier?
one age it's a really good question. I'm trying to think about that because like I could easily be like, oh yeah, like Jules and Stitch, which I work on daily, um, and but exactly I use them. So I'm trying to think about, and I do use a lot of Jules to build stuff for Jules, and I do use a lot of Stitch to build stuff for Stitch. Um, you know, can I go with an concept, which I think this is more profound than it is a tool? Uh, the concept is basically benchmarking and evaluation has greatly changed my perspective of things because what has allowed me to do is to form less opinions about things, about like, oh, I think this is really good. That was like a very big way. I would always be like, I feel like this is good. I want to build this thing. I want to do this thing, and I would like really go towards that. But what I've learned is nowadays with AI, I can establish a lot of benchmarks and evaluations and stuff like that in cases or cases, and therefore get benchmarks. And that allows me to actually go through a objective scientific sort of method process of like my what I think is good is now a hypothesis, no longer than an opinion. And I don't become a validation of my hypothesis. I become a truth seeker. And so with AI, I can generate all these things. I can get thinking traces. I can get all these sorts of results back, and I can get them analyzed. And then there's a lot of sometimes not always truth, but it's a lot of data and a lot of things that can drive you to a place. And so the things that have changed more than anything is trying to make things as observable and measurable as possible, and to take those insights from it. That has changed everything from me. And so it's made, yeah, downstream has made everything way better because it's allowed me to work seeking the truth of something, the way something should work, the way this is better because of this, not just like I think this is better or I feel that it's better.
I might have to come and interview you outside of the podcast setting just to learn more because this sounds very interesting. I want to see your like workflow all broken out.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's quite it's that's a little more messy. But yeah, just gathering data. Actually, last thing I'll say is I'm trying to release this. I just got the PR merged yesterday. I have a CLI for Stitch MCP. I'll put it in the repo, and basically a lot of the tool calls allows you to directly invoke them through the CLI. It helps you kind of set up the Stitch MCP. But one of the things I added to it, sort of additively behind the scenes, is that you can opt into logging. And so it logs every call and stuff you make and then logs the results out. And I did this kind of selfishly for me, but it's my CLI. It's not the official Stitch CLI. So I get to do that. And I do that because now I'm automatically seeing the step-by-step traces, at least from me running it on the client. It's not a there's no like server thing it pulls down from, but everything I'm running in that session gets
Mhm.
logged, and then I can start sourcing, like, I ran this prompt, I got these results, and then I can observe that I liked screen ID, this one and that one. And then now later I can then associate that these prompts were good, and then I can try to go and verify them again. And then if I get another good result and I can correlate it, I'm like, okay, this is really good. And then that's what goes into the library that I was showing earlier. So it's stuff like that, where it's like the library is way more data driven or like validation driven than not every single one. Sometimes I store ones that I want to try out later, but a lot of them are like, yes, I've done this and I saw good things from it.
Oh, lovely. Excellent. Yeah. So, with that, as someone who lacks any design sense, I am so glad that you came today to show me how to make beautiful designs with Stitch, not only in the UI, and you gave me like a crash course on prompting Stitch, but also through Gemini CLI, which is great.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to say before we let you get back to building with Google Labs?
Oh man, I think I've said a lot. This is one of those ones where, like, if we took the pie chart of speaking time, it would be disproportionate, and so I should say less. So thank you. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you. This was a whole lot of fun. As you can tell, I could nerd out about this type of stuff for ever. So I'm glad that this was a part of my job today. So thank you.
Absolutely, yeah. So, for everyone watching, please check out David East on their personal blog, which I'll link down below, and stay up to date with all the latest from Google Labs by tuning into I/O coming up soon. And if you're still here, let's watch this next video on how to quickly build AI agents with a new Agent CLI. Thank you so much for tuning in.